This is TWiT.
Tech Break is brought to you by our friends at IT Pro TV, now called ACI Learning. IT Pro's new Cyber Skills is a training tool for all members of your organization. Get cybersecurity awareness training for non-IT professionals and secure your business on all fronts. TWiT listeners can receive up to 65% off an IT Pro Enterprise Solution plan. The discount is based on the size of your team when you fill out their form. Secure your business. Visit go.acilearning.com/twit today.
Very important. I have a complaint to make, and I think that this complaint is potentially going to make some people feel better, and will also make me feel better if I hear from more folks. Since I first got my iPhone 15 Pro Max from the start, and mind you, I am not running beta software and have continued to only run the releases as I've gotten it. I have had Bluetooth dropouts constantly. I thought it was something to do with my AirPods Pro, because those are what I listen to Bluetooth, using Bluetooth more often than anything else. But basically what'll happen is I'll be listening to an audiobook or listening to music, and it kind of crackles and goes out and then picks up again. Sometimes, especially with music, it will kind of pick up where it left off. But with audiobooks, it just drops. It's almost like dropping frames. It just loses some of what is being said and then picks up again afterward. This has happened with my AirPods Pro. It has also happened with a Bluetooth speaker that I use quite literally in the shower. And because that's pretty much the only other Bluetooth device that I use. Music, audio, basically anything when I'm streaming via Bluetooth, it will cut out on me. And so I'm getting these drops. It used to be very, very bad, where there were a few times that it just completely lost that it was connected to anything at all. And then the music would start just playing out of my phone, or the audiobook would start playing out of my phone. And I went online, as one does, and looked at the different, just to see if anyone else was experiencing it too. And in Apple's community forum, there are several people who have reported, with an iPhone 15 Pro Max in particular, experiencing this issue. Most of them are Bluetooth streaming in their cars, and they're having this drop happen. It cuts in and out. And what they had heard from their own rounds of Apple support was that Apple's iOS 17.1 was supposed to fix it. So when iOS 17.1 rolled around, I installed it, and it seemed like the problem had been solved within the first maybe couple of hours of using it. But then it started to happen again. It is happening. It's rarer that it happens, or doesn't happen as frequently, but it is still happening. So if you out there have one of the new iPhones, but it might be just the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I still don't know, because I don't have enough data to determine. And I also had a person who I actually know reach out and say, "Oh my goodness, I've been having the same thing, and I thought it was my AirPods Pro. I'm so glad that I'm not alone," because then that means that it is something that can be fixed. I was going around, I had installed these little things you plug into the wall, and then you plug something into them so you can see how much power they're using. There's like little power monitors or power meters, basically. And I had installed those around the same time that I started having the Bluetooth drop out, because it was around the same time that I got my iPhone. So I was going around unplugging those, because I thought maybe it's putting out some sort of microwave that is it's breaking the Bluetooth connection or something. Just, going around the house wanting to put foil all over everything, basically. And so once it was confirmed that, I wasn't alone, there were maybe 10 to 15 people who had reported having the same problem. And then the person that I actually knew saying, "Hey, I'm having that too," made me feel a little bit better, because I knew it wasn't something that I was doing. So the 17.1 update seemed to improve the connectivity issue with Bluetooth, but it is still happening from time to time, and that's frustrating. iOS 17.2 is the next version that will roll out with potentially some new features, but there is a report that people are experiencing Wi-Fi slowdowns and connectivity issues, and that the 17.2 update will fix this. My hope is that whatever connectivity issues are going on is it's going to affect Bluetooth as well. I really want that to be the case. I don't know if it's going to be the case, but I'm very hopeful. So yes, I would love to hear. You can tweet at me. You can, mastodon at me. You could, whatever. Let me know if you too have seen these Bluetooth issues. But my fingers are crossed that the connectivity issues that are supposed to be fixed in iOS 17.2 also address this Bluetooth connectivity issue before I have to go around and start gathering data from people and take it to Apple in some way to get, a fix in place, because I kid you not, on 3 or 4 occasions, I have come this close to pulling out my iPhone 14 and signing into it again and starting to use that, because that's how much it has affected. I listen to audiobooks like all the time. And so it has affected my ability to even know what's going on in the plot, because things are just dropped and missed. It's very bad. I'm just thankful that CarPlay is a Wi-Fi, because I've got wireless CarPlay. I'm thankful that the actual connectivity after the initial pairing is a Wi-Fi thing, because then I'm not having that problem. Anyway, so let's hope 17.2 fixes it.
Yes. And for any folks who are affected by Bluetooth issues in particular, I definitely recommend looking and seeing if any of your speakers also support AirPlay as well as Bluetooth. It's become a lot more common than you might think. And so there's a lot of things out there. So for example, I have a Sonos Roam speaker that I use in my bathroom. I could connect to it via Bluetooth, but I don't. I do use AirPlay for it, or I can use the Sonos controls, which just mean that it streams music from Apple Music over Wi-Fi. But I can do that and just completely avoid using Bluetooth, which is definitely a great feature.
That's a good idea.
Of course, using AirPods does not avoid using Bluetooth, but maybe, Mikah, as a temporary measure to tide you over until approximately the end of the year, which is when 17.2 is forecast to be released, you could look into some wired USB-C headphones.
Yeah,
I don't know. That doesn't sound like a great option. The other option, of course, is potentially installing the public beta, but I know that a lot of folks wouldn't necessarily want to do that, and I wouldn't suggest it as a solution, certainly for like my grandmother if she was having this issue. Fortunately, my grandmother just presses the play button on her iPad and uses the speakers and is happy with that. So I'm good there. But could be worthwhile installing a public beta for you for the time being.
That's probably what I'm going to end up doing, is at least trying the public beta to see if that helps.